morning students, good morning to all. Today we should discuss about the second CGA 3D animation paper 2. 3D animation in CGA second year paper 2. Then we should be discussing about the topic rigging. So now today we should discuss about the rigging topic on 3D animation. Then first of all, what is the meaning of rigging? The rigging is a process of setting of a character ready for animation. What is the meaning of rigging? Rigging is the process of setting of a character ready for animation. So then it should be creation of any animation. The rigging object is one of the most important object by the creation of animation. Then the 3D animation or 2D animation, whatever that is. So rigging is the most important object by creating of any animation. So the rigging is the process of setting of a characters ready for animation. This includes creating a skeleton to differ from the character and in creating animation controls to enable easy posing of character. Then how to use in rigging in the animation means this includes creating a skeleton to differ the character and creating the animation controls to enable easy posing of character. So what is the meaning of rigging? What is the use of rigging in animation? So rigging is a process of setting of a character ready for animation. Then it should be used of in a rigging object. They have two types of kinematics. Then first one forward kinematics and then discuss about the forward kinematics. Is called by FK. So the forward kinematics means the pose of characters within the forward kinematics. You rotate each joints individually. You need to get the desired or posting. So what is the use of forward kinematics means? The pose of character within a forward kinematics. You rotate each joint individually until you get the desired posting. For example, to move hand to some locations, you must rotate several arm joints to reach the location. Then the forward kinematics means some examples they should be used the hand some locations. Then you should be used the hand. So look at the hand. Use the hand most rotation the several arm of joints. There should be joints or rotation the several arms. Then you should identify this in the location. Automatically the joint is a rotation of angle. So it is the forward kinematics. The forward kinematics means the process of characters with forward kinematics. You rotate each joint individually until you get the desired posting. For example, to move hand the sum of the locations, you must rotate the several arm joint to reach the location. This is the use of forward kinematics. The next one. Inverse kinematics is called by IK. Inverse kinematics called by IK. With IK, you create an extra control structure and IK handle the creation of joint chains such as arms and legs. So, what is the meaning of inverse kinematics? With IK, you create an extra control structure and IK handle the creating of joint chains such as arms and legs. This is the use of IK. So what is the use of IK? That means inverse kinematics. And IK handle the less menopause of animate the entire joint chains but moving a single manipulator. Then forward kinematics there should be rotation of the joints, but inverse kinematics is the moving a single manipulator, the entire joints. Then they have the wrist and hand have some of the joint. So how to creation joints is called by inverse kinematics in animation field. So what is the meaning of inverse kinematics? With inverse kinematics, you create an extra control structure and IK handle for creating joint chains such as in the arms and legs. And IK handle the legs menopause on animate the entire joint chain by moving the single manipulator. So rigging topic, then we should be discussing about the two types of kinematics. Then first one forward kinematics and inverse kinematics. Forward kinematics is called by FK, inverse kinematics called by IK. The forward kinematics only rotation of the joints, but inverse kinematics they should be linked by the arms and joints. This is the difference between the forward kinematics and inverse kinematics. Then joints in the skeleton. Then should be creation of any joints or skeleton. That means skeleton means this is the structure of object. So then you should be, first of all you should be creating the any skeleton by the whatever the object they should be used in animation. First you should be make the skeleton. So how to make the skeleton and the attachment of the joints. Then in this topic the joints in skeleton. When you band a character to any skeleton to the skeleton that provides a structure for the character's skin and prevents the skin from the collapsing of your post skeleton. Then how to make the joints in the skeleton? When you band the character to a skeleton, the skeleton provides a structure for the character's skin and prevents the skin from the collapse as you are post the skeleton. So first you should be creation of the skeleton. Nothing but skeleton is one of the object of animation. So the structure, the character skins and present the skin from the collapsing of you close the skeleton. So first you should be creation of any animation in 3D graphics. First of all you should be make the skeleton of the body. Then skeleton is nothing but one of the object. So which of the object we should be made in 3D animation is called by skeleton. Then creating of joints. Creating of joints. Then a skeleton. The skeleton is the made of bones and joints. Then it should be creation of any skeleton. They have the bones and joints. So every skeleton is been made by the bones and joints. And already I told that the inward kinematics and forward kinematics. The both is included by the skeleton. So then it should be creation of any skeleton object is the made for bones and joints. When you create a skeleton in the Maya, you create a series of joints in the skeleton location where you are want the character to the band of twist. Then you should be creation of any skeleton by the object too. Just some example, when you should be creation of a human leg. That's like, so the human leg have some of the bones and joints. That means they have the inward kinematics and forward kinematics. Then you should be creation of the human leg. When you create the skeleton in the Maya, you create a series of joints in the skeleton of locations where you want the character to the bend or twist. So some example should be creation of the leg of human being. Then how to create the legs? To create joints for the leg. Then you should be already I am telling that once you should be creation of the leg by human body. How to create the legs in a 3D animation? So to create the joints for legs, then first one. Then first you should be select the window and settings or preference. Then you should be open the 3D animation Maya software. First you should be select the window and settings preference. Then preference. The preference window click the kinematics category. Then you should be click the kinematics. So you have the forward kinematics and inverse kinematics. So what about this? First you should be click the kinematics category. Then what is the joint size? Then you should be given the joint size 0.4 inches for the joint size. Then click the save button. Then you should be given the proper of size in the joints. So the joint size is 0.4. Then you should be save the button. The next one. Select the skeleton, joint tools. This is the tool for creating the joint chains and make a skeleton. Then second, select the skeleton and joint tool. This is the tool for creating the joint chains that make up a skeleton. Joint chains. Already joint chains will be coming from the IK and thus inverse kinematics. Then first of all you should be click the forward kinematics. Second topic you should be click the inverse kinematics. The third one. In a side view, click the hip, knee, ankle, bar or foot and third create the joints at this the position. Then you should be create the forward kinematics and inward kinematics. Okay, that's it. Then next, they have the sum of the ankles and balls of the foot, and that means you have the sum of the effect of in your leg. Then you use the sum ball or ankle and hip and knee. So in a side view, hip at the hip, knee, ankle, ball of the foot, and try to create the joint of this position. So then you should be creating of the leg component on your character. They should be used the same process. Then the next one, the press enter button to window and in a Linux. What about that? This is the Windows and Linux is the one of the operating system by with the help of the 3D animation lectures. So press enter the click on the Windows and Linux software and return to the after creating the toy joint. This complete to the joint chain. Then you should be creation of any joints of the chain. That's forward kinematics or inward kinematics. What about that? First of all, you should be create the neck and ankle, balls of foot and toy. What about that? Then you should be creating the toy joint. This is the complete joint chain. Then you should be not creation of the joint chains. The parts are will be not connected to the IK to FK. That means inward kinematics and forward kinematics. The next one, the select window hypergraph. The hypergraph means nothing but any 3D animation they should be used in a 3 axis. That's one an X and Y and Z axis. Then X is indicated by horizontal, Y is indicated by vertical, Z is indicated by rotate. Then you should be using the 3 of axis. The must and should. They should be used by the hypergraph. The harassing the hypergraph is convenient the place to the select, rename and parent of the objectives. So what is the select of window? Then hypergraph. They hide its key. The hypergraph is convenient to the place, the select, rename and parent objectives. Then you should be creation of any object by the skeleton. You should be maintain the inward kinematics and forward kinematics. Then finally, the rename the joints of the left hip, left knee, left ankle, left ball and left top. Then you know, already I am told you that you should be creation of the human leg. So in this topic you should be creation the human left side leg part. Then you should be make the joints left hip, left knee, left ankle, left ball and left top. Then you should be the total points will be joined the chain wise. So this is the inward kinematics. The rename of joint, right click the joint name in the hypergraph and select. Then finally, rename for the drop down menu, type the new name and press enter. So then you should be creation of the all type of the parts is the one of the link to the one-to-one parts is called the chain link. The rename from the drop down menu, type the new name and press enter. Then in the final, the front view, click the left click the joint to select it, move it along the x-axis to the center of the top of the left leg. Then finally you should be click the x-axis to the center of the top of the left leg. So this is the view of front view of the left leg. So this is the axis. So see the pic. See the pic. This is the front view of the legs. And we will be doing the ball, knife, and inward kinematics and forward kinematics. Those are the objectives. One you should be creation of the chain link. They should be creation the skeleton of left leg. Then you should be creation the forward kinematics and inward kinematics. So this is the today's topic. Write the assignment of questions. The first one. What is the meaning of rigging? What is the rigging? Next, define IK and FK. Define IK and FK. Then essay questions. Write the procedure to create joints in Maya. Write the procedure to create joints in Maya. Write the all questions on your assignment to submit the WhatsApp. Thank you, students.